All right, how's everybody doing? Yeah, I don't know why there is a timeout for the, or a cooldown period for the build command. But I'm building Lumina with Gateron Reds, and I'll also be using a Bluetooth PCB, which should be interesting if it fits. So the first thing we need to do is check if it fits the case. So we're gonna be doing that in a second. But the first thing that I'll do is look at this. I have all of those 7U wires, and I think all of them are bent. Some are really bent, like this one. Let me see if I can show you this. So this one, you can see that this side is really, can you see how much it goes up when I put it on a flat surface? This one as well. This one is, I think, the best one that I have, even though it's a little bit bent. You can see it lift here on the left hand side. It's one of the candidates for today's build. We're gonna see how bad that looks, but this one is also slightly bent, but not as bad. This one here, a little bit, so we're gonna move it to this side. Yeah, this is very much bent. This is terrible as well. And finally, this one, I think, is the one that is the best one. So do you see the amount of wires that I lost? And most of those are bent because they were shipped within the housing, which is a big bummer. I am really sad that Novel Keys still ship them this way. And Evil, thank you so much, man, for the 4 months on the Twitch Prime subscription. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna try one of those. I'm gonna try the one that I said that is, you know, not as bad as the other, which is this one, but I'll keep those here. We're also gonna need 2 of those since we're gonna go with the HHKB layout fully. So no need to compromise there. And I love it because we end up using less stabs too. So let's do, I don't know why this build command doesn't, there's a cooldown period for that, but the Shinto Giant, this is basically what the command would give you. Sorry about the cooldown. I need to figure out where, maybe I can take a look now and you guys can help me. Let me show you what I use. Let's see. Nightbot. So basically what I use is this, and I have a build command. And here it says, let me find it. What? I'm moving the wrong place. Hold on. So cooldown, it says, not sure what fell. It shows 5 seconds, but so yeah, not sure. Anyways, let's get back to this. I forgot to get housings for the rest of the stabs, so let me do that. And then we're gonna see if the battery is gonna fit the case. And hello, Rope, how are you? Welcome back. So we're gonna do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, let me grab the case. So this is the Lumina we're putting together today. Let me just move the stabs. Hey, Easy Cebola, thank you so much for the follow. All right, let me open this guy. Let me just put some protection on the bottom. And I am not sure we can fit a battery here. If we can't fit the battery, we're going to go with a standard... we're going to go with the PCB that's inside. It's called the Waldo PCB. It's a PCB that comes with the kit, with the Lumina kit. And my impression is that it's not going to fit. So unfortunately, we won't be able to do the Bluetooth PCB that I wanted to do. Cebola, we're not able to unban you, I'm sorry. People had reasons to ban you, and I cannot overcome the other mods there. So, unfortunately, I can't. And there's zero ways this would fit. So, that's the bad news. We're going to have to use the PCB that I have here, which is the Waldo PCB, USB-C. It's a nice PCB for what I can see. It's designed by Maple Computing, which is very reputable guy. So, yeah, that's a bummer. Here we go. Let me take out those switches that we're not going to be using. All right, here we go. So let's start putting... Oh, let's start with the stabs. I think it's better. So I'm going to start with the 7U because I want to, as I said, I want to test this, this wire here. It seems to be very straight. So hopefully that doesn't become an issue. So the question is, are custom hot swap keyboards more expensive, or is it worth it to learn how to solder? I would say it's very worth it to learn how to solder. But if it's your first keyboard and you still don't know a lot about switches, I think that having a hot swap is also a great way to learn about them. Does that make sense? Right. So I'm using this 205 equivalent from Taobao for stabs now. They're not very good for switches, but they're really good for stabs. And Peace Perfect, thank you so much for the follow, man. Appreciate it. So your Instagram page by random gotta give you all the follows. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. The follow there and the follow here. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, Super Normal Like, how are you? All good here. Just bummed by the amount of bent stabilizer wires I have. Really bummed. So hopefully I'll be able to pick up a lot of those Everglide stabilizers. That's what I want to do. Was searching for a 66% replacement. Oh yeah, the baguette. Yeah, I can bring it here in a second for you to see it again. But yeah, that board is really nice. I'll get it in a sec. Let me just finish checking if this wire is gonna give me trouble or not. Just wrapped up a NYM 96 build yesterday and I'm really pleased with it. Can you believe that I have one here to build? I need to find the time to build it eventually. If you're happy, then maybe I should consider doing it soon. All right, this stab seems to be nice with my hand, but I want to test it with a switch as well. Let me do that. Let me grab. There's my Keyset that I was using previously. Where did I put my Keyset? This is not the best to test with. Hold on. Just noticed it fell on the ground. All right, so let me test this. Definitely do. It's a really nice keyboard, especially considering the price point. Yes, that was the reason I picked it up. I picked it up a long time ago on one of those Smash Drop drops, and I still didn't have time to build. I never built a 96 key. Let me just see how this sounds. Yeah, those new housings, they are very tight and I don't like the sound of them. You know what I'll try to do? I'll try to use this wire with another housing that I have that I'm probably not gonna use, which is this. This is a housing for the EPBT stabs. I'm gonna see if they sound better with the very same wire. Do you have an idea of what switches you might put into it? I built mine with Lubed. So I used to like Holy Pandas, but I don't like them very much anymore because mostly I dropped tactile. I'm mostly using linears now, so I would say that there's a good chance that I would build them with tactile. So sorry, linears. So maybe retooled blacks, maybe Gateron inks. I'm not sure. All right, let me try to transplant this into this new wire housing to see if they sound better. All right, it seems to fit perfect. What I want to do is add a little more grease to this one, to this side. I've been hearing about the retooled stabs. I'm really bummed. Yeah, they are very, very bad. Like the way how tight the housings are. Not a fan of the change. Yeah, they are really scratchy. Oops, and just for a change, I snapped it wrong. Let's see how much better this one sounds in comparison. Yeah, I will probably buy a lot more of those housings than I wanted to. I already bought like 5 kits for 625 and 5 kits for 7U, but I think I'll double that order. Okay, let me see how it sounds with this new housing here. And what I think I'll do is I'll use them for the 2Us as well. Let's see. And man, it's night and day, the difference. Incredible how much it changes. So much better. All right, let's see what we do with the 2Us. Let's see if they are gonna sound bad. Or you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and use this. There's no use in... Those are EPBT. They are very old. I bought them on Taobao a long time ago. But now Duroc and Everglide, they have the same housings. So hopefully they are as good as this. And since we're at it, let me use their wires as well. They're really good wires. Gold plated. And some screws as well. No, they're not the same. They look the same. They're definitely not the same. But they do look very alike. All right, let me just quickly reassemble them. And did I? Yeah, I messed up. I put one of the golden ones here. It's really hard to get the one I want. How do they compare to the screen stabs housing that we used to love? They are very similar, and I think even better. Okay, so the slide looks different. Okay. Yeah, I'll have some eventually, and we're gonna do a comparison, like a full-on comparison. But they also come pre-clipped, so you don't have to clip them, which is another plus. And in my opinion, they feel even better than the previous incarnation of the chair, the pre-tool version. You like the the step tray? Yeah, I have a little drawer. Let me see if I can show you. I have that little 3D printed drawer there, and I do have a couple of things along with the steps tray. They don't really have a good photo. Yeah, everything I saw was like, I have a photo of the real thing that I can show you in a second. Because mine arrived at Superbuy and they took pictures, so I can show you that. I don't know how detailed they are, but we can take a look. Hold on, I'll open that in a second. Let me just get those lubings, 2 lubings here done. Let me see here. Let me open yours first. So this is, yeah, they are very similar. But let me open the one that I have. Hold on. Let me just log into my Superbuy account. Hey, Caffeine Connoisseur. Thank you for the follow. And we do share 2 things in common. I also love coffee. Not a connoisseur like yourself, but I do like it. Let me log in real quick. Oh my God. There's a giant thing that I can't close. Look at this. There's no way to close this thing. How cool is that? Maybe if I make the page smaller, yeah. Oh, it was 110%. So let me log in real quick and I'll show you the pictures that they sent me. So of course this is not the housing, but let me get the housing. Oh, I'm not showing the screen, am I? I'm like an idiot. I was thinking I was showing the screen. Oh, so this is the wires. There is another item. Hold on. How do I close this thing? Do I hit ask? Does it work? No. Oh, with that white background. Let me see if I can see. Yeah, not the best pictures either with that, but you can see them here, kind of. Here. They are somewhat similar to the ones that I'm using here. Oh, I opened the link in chat. This, right? Yeah, and that's very similar to what I have here. Like very similar. Oh, okay. Mine is... Okay, let me do it. I don't know. I don't think you need to be... Oh, I can paste something on chat? Okay. All right, let me go back to those tabs. Yeah, I think it looks good. I'm gonna buy a few more just to be safe because I don't think Cherry is doing a good job. They are really bad, especially for Spacebars. Okay, so let's see how those sound. I think they only, on Taobao, they only have 80% sets. Or maybe even 104 sets. I think they have the ones that comes with like 8 to use and one either 6.5 or 7. I have a different Taobao link. I can send you the one that I have. Can you share the one that you have? I'll send mine right now. That's the one that I have. No, it's the same, isn't it? On mine, I don't know if it's the same. Yeah, so it's the same. Read the description of the item. You're gonna see that they say that it's, I think, 8 to use. Oh, there is? Okay. Yeah, I'm just stupid when it comes to those things. I just bought the one. I think that made sense to me. All right, let me test those real quick and then we can start soldering. Let me turn on my soldering iron. So I need to really clean my hand before I'm doing this. Yeah, this sounds great. Let's see this one here. Yeah, those tabs are really great. They sound really good. All right, with that said, I think we're ready to start soldering. Let me just put this aside. So the question is if I keep the keyboards that I build for myself or if I'm building it for someone else. No, I always keep the ones that I build. I never built a keyboard for somebody else. I would, but there's just like no demand, unfortunately. All right, and I don't know if you guys know this already, but we're doing Gateron reds or red inks, ink reds, however you want to call it. Oh, and we have the flexible plate dilemma. So what I'll be doing is I'm gonna go ahead and put all the switches on and then try to see if they're bent and put them all in. Otherwise, this is gonna become a nightmare. They also have a pink and ink version there. Really? Man, I need your help. If you don't mind, I can order while we're streaming, and then you can show me what those options are. I thought the ink and pink was for switches. I thought the same link had switches. Let me hold on. Oh, that's kind of cool. I really thought that was the switch only. Yeah, I don't mind getting some of those. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I might get some of those as well, just to see how they are and do like a review of them, of the different colors. Yeah, I also like Duroc. I don't even know what the drama is. It's because they did the T1 stuff and they did the Stelios. Yeah, let's put that behind us and move on. They're not trying to do that anymore. Is that where the drama comes from? Yeah. I mean, if you would stop buying stuff because you think they made clones, you wouldn't even wear clothes, because most of the clothes you do come from China and everything else, and come from companies that do a lot of copies alongside with the real thing, right? If you buy something from a brand, it's very likely that they're also selling the same thing on the side. Oh, really? What's your opinion about OEM keyboards? I really don't like them. With a few exceptions, like I had the N Pro. I think the switches are bad. I just don't like them. And yes, the other question is there a huge difference on a switch after it is lubed? The answer is also yes. There's a huge feeling, and in terms of the feeling and the sound, it's like night and day. It's very different. Do you think the Gateron would do that to like create the drama? Wow, that's conspiracy theory kind of material there. Yeah, I think, yeah, maybe if you break them in for a few years in use, I think that the plastic would end up feeling as good as lubed. I mean, that's kind of proven, right? With vintage blacks. When the Hearing Bob was selling like the real good stuff, I got some amazing retooled blacks, not retooled blacks, vintage blacks that were really smooth. Hey, Try Hard. How are you? Been a while. That's the Frontiers. That's interesting. That's interesting. And the good thing about those switches, I don't think they are bent because I've been breaking them in on my HHKB tofu. So I have been using them for a month or so. So I just pulled them out. There you go. So Instagram being worth what I pay for it, which is nothing. If I made any custom with chalk switches, yes, I made a couple. I can show you one in 1 second. I also need to get the other keyboard that I promised, the baguette. Oh, you have a drone now. I am jealous. I envy you. Which one did you get? Not that I understand a lot about drones, but is it like a high-end one? So chalks, I think the best chalks that I tried were the very clicky ones like jades and navies. And one linear is kind of good. The dark yellows, I think, is good. But the others, but even the dark yellow, they are kind of boring. The jades and the navies are nice. My favorite is the jades. Or are the jades. $100. Oh, that's nice. Just check on something real quick. All right, here we go. Let's get it started. Let me see if the other view, yeah, this view may give you a better idea of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna solder the switches that are on the outskirts first. And just one leg to make sure that that anchors the other switches. Hey, Fifi. It's been a while. How are you? Yeah, this is pretty boring. And especially on this build that I had to put in all the switches, I need to be very careful about making sure that the switches are flush. And, you know, holding the PCB down and soldering at the same time sometimes is really tricky. Like on those switches here, it's really hard to hold the PCB down straight and get a good angle to feed the solder into the switch pin. And then what I like to do is make sure that the switches are flush with the PCB, which sometimes is not the case, but I think this is really good. So let's move on. I'm gonna try and solder all the switches on this row now. This is not a very good angle because of the USB ports. Yeah, it's stealing all the heat from the soldering iron. There we go. How did you finish the SMD soldering last time? I don't know which one you caught me doing. If it's the, I think it was the elongate PCB. So I found that there was an error on the design of the PCB, and a ground and a 5-volt pin was inverted on the design of the PCB. So what I thought was me being bad at soldering was really a problem with the PCB. So once I figured that out, I just went ahead and cut the traces for that connector, and I soldered the pins to another ground and another 5 volts, and then it worked. So let me grab a fan because the fumes are really bad. Hold on. Yes, I think I did. I did get used to it, and I ended up using the hot air station a lot more than the soldering iron. I found that way easier to use than the soldering iron. I must say that I did, yes, I did get a lot more comfortable with doing it. But I still have a long way to go, for sure. Hopefully the fan doesn't affect a lot with the audio. Let's see. Oh, and I need to make sure that you guys can still see it. Hold on, let me move it a little further up. And maybe closer to what we're doing here. Yeah, as long as it works, for sure. But it's nice to see some progress too, right? But yeah, in the end it did work. I have it working, and I use that PCB a lot. Yeah, you guys still can't see what I'm doing, so let me go back to this view. Hey, 159 with the 5 months. Tier 1 subscription. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. We zoom in so we can take a look at my terrible soldering job. Did those partially ship or was it aftermarket? Aftermarket. And I got it from a guy you know. You know well. What are the advantages of having a hot swap on a custom? Well, the advantage is that you can change the switches as often as you please. The disadvantage is that for me, it's never a done keyboard, right? When you solder it, it's practically done, but when you have a hot swap, it almost feels like, oh, I can use those switches on the hot swap for another build. It's never a final thing for me. But yeah, 159, this is aftermarket. This is even, I think, a prototype. As far as I know. Yes, breaking in switches is another. So those switches that I have here, I use them for maybe a month on my hot swap. And they are definitely a lot better than when I lube them for the first time. So that's really good. Yeah, that's another huge benefit of hot swaps. Being able to break in the switches. And the layout is usually fixed or have very limited options. Yes. So no sweet cheese. Not sweet. Swiss cheese. Oh, I have a semi-bent pin here. Let me pull it out and straighten it. Just gonna put another switch on. Too bad this doesn't support stepped caps, the plate. I would love to have stepped caps here. So I'm not sure how to determine if a keyboard PCB from OEM is good or not. I am not an expert on PCBs, so I really don't think I can tell. I mean, you can kind of determine the solder quality and the PCB itself, but I think that's, for me, it's very subjective. If anyone in chat has some insights on how to determine that, I really don't know. So we're almost done with this first pin, and then we're gonna check if all the switches seem to be straight, and if they are, hopefully they are, we can solder the second pin. This is what I usually do if I have a board with a flexible plate like palm in this case, which is a flexible kind of plastic. And I think that's it. All right, let me check it from the side and see if we have any offenders in terms of height. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, the space bar was a little bit floating, so let me check the rest. Yeah, I can see a few, so let me touch the pins and go over the ones in the middle that do look a little bit oh, so one of them was this one that is not even soldered, so that's a good reason. Check again. Yeah, a little bit. All the switches. So let's fix this. Yeah, the rest seem to be fine, so let me check one last time. Good. All right, I think I'm gonna move on and start soldering the other pads. Let's do that. Hey, Dani Freitas, how are you? Welcome. How are you? Welcome, welcome. All right, so we have our third row done. Let's finish up the fourth. Almost there. And last row, just a couple of switches here, like 4. Five with the spacebar. And you know what? I'm not sure I placed the switches on the right places. Oh, yes, I did, because it's a fixed plate. Duh. I was wondering why I didn't test the switch placement. That's why. All right, so soldering is done. I just need to make sure that I did all of them. Yeah, and I didn't. There's at least one pad missing here. All right, looks like now we are done. Let me grab the case and then we can start assembling this. Let's do it. Wait, what? Something's not right here. Oh, let me zoom out so you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I really like those switches, Danny. They are Gateron inks. What's wrong here? Wait, what am I doing wrong? I should go in this way, like that. Até dodge usar as keycaps. Just grab that protection again. Where did I put it? Hold on, because I have no idea where I put my foam. Am I going crazy? I don't know what I did with my foam that I just used. Okay, that's very odd. Just use the foam and I have no idea what I did with it. Okay. Hey Noxygen, how are you? Yeah, we do have a Lumina here. They do exist. Right. Which color did you order? If you order one. Oh, you have one being shipped? So yeah, I was gonna ask that if you are on that first batch. Which color was yours? Because mine was white, and I think white's gonna be one of the last to ship. Hey, how are you, Luke? Welcome. Oh, so you have one. Okay, to rebuild. I see. Yeah, same thing here. This is a rebuild. Yeah, Cosmos Prima. Yeah, I know. Those are pretty nice. Yeah, and we're gonna see how it sounds now. I have been very curious about it. That's how it looks from the top. Let me take this mat out of here. Let me turn off the fan and unplug it, and then I can get the keycaps and we can finally do a typing test. Let me just take care of this. And here we have, so give me 1 second. Let me reposition the other camera. Hey, Noxygen, thank you so much for the follow, man. Appreciate that. Okay, so here we go. Let me just exit studio mode. So let me see which angle is gonna look better. I think the other one. Yeah, let me open this. So this is a sealed. Love the choice of red inks. Going to use those. Yeah. So I am really excited for the satisfaction as well, Oxygen. Okay, so this is a sealed jamón that we're gonna use. I bought this kit for this build, and also because I really like jamón. I have this is my second jamón set. I already have one here on, hold on my Leaf 60, and I didn't want to take that out, so I bought a second kit. Let's see how this looks on this red. Hopefully it looks nice. Let's see. Yeah, this board had to have red inks. First, because I'm a huge linear fan. And of course, the whole theme is, man, sometimes GMK trays can be so frustrating. All right, so here we go. Which color is your satisfaction? 75. I got that blue one, the dark blue. Hey, Visionary is here. I missed you, man. Not sure how, but I didn't see your message. How are you? You know, old people have a problem keeping up with chat. So I apologize for that. Black, which is surprisingly the rarest colors. That's interesting. So, oh, you'll be Cerakoting it with, say, oh man, I still need to send one keyboard off to Cerakoting. I had one Cerakoted by local folks here in Brazil, but they didn't do much of a good job. But I now know that there is a reputable place. So, oh, you have red alert. That's pretty cool. And I'm skipping JNF because I am a bars guy now. Can you believe that? After a long time using Deep Dish for the home row keys, I now prefer bars. And my inks are using Get Yellow Springs and ZOV2 tops. Oh, that's a special build for you, I can tell. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I really like the yellows. I have two builds with the yellows. I like the short travel. I don't mind it at all. I think it's fun. But I never did any spring swap. That's an interesting mod. How does it feel with the swapped springs? Yeah, Dip Dish definitely looks better. I can agree to that. All right, let me put on the space bar, and then we can see if we want to do accents or whatnot. Let me see. I put the rest of the stuff that I cannot change. Hey, for someone who has never built a keyboard but knows how to solder, what setup do you recommend for a cheap first build like cherry reds? So if you're going cheap, and you like linears, I would get milky yellows. Gateron milky yellows. Panda was there before me. But that's basically what I would do as well. But it's a little heavier on the press. Interesting. I'm gonna do that mod to check it out for myself because I was intrigued. So now, what do you guys think? Should we use one of the funny little things, or should we stick to the red, the pure red? Let me do no accents first, and then we can play with it. Hey, Sleepoke. So the letter is no accents. Yeah, there's a lot of bacons here. Maybe we can do bacon here and pigs at the bottom. Maybe we can do that. I'll see how that looks in a second. Bacon and the pig. Okay, let's do it. This way we don't change colors a lot, but add a little bit of a... Yeah, of course, I'm gonna use the N. I think that's a great little change. Bacon and pig. Let's pig it out. Yeah, just noticed. Thank you, Panda. Okay, time to take a good look at it. Let's see. Okay. I think I'm in love. I think it looks really nice. What do you guys think? Let me... What do you guys think? I think it looks very nice. Let's see how it sounds now, right? It's part of the fun. Okay. Yeah, I think we either have a bad USB connector or a bad cable. It's not staying connected. Can you guys hear it? I need plug like this. Okay, that's better. So it seems like now it's sticking around. Let me type something. I'm gonna bring the mic closer to the board. I don't want to move it too much. And I'm gonna stop the music. Use regex. Spacebar indeed looks, but there is a little play on the stab. I think it's the. Can you see that it stays in place? So there is a little bit of play. I think it's the kind of stab that I used. Let me do Notepad, and now we can do a little typing test. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Yeah, the spacebar is a little too noisy for my taste. Yeah, not happy with the spacebar. I'll probably change it to a heavier spring. Okay, let's try what Panda suggested. I can bring out a desk pad. Let me grab one of the good ones. Hold on. No, look, I think it sounds about the same as before soldering. Let's see how much it changes. Let's see. Just make this a little more straight, like that. Okay. Sounds a lot better. It's very interesting. I never thought of that. It sounds way better now that it's on a... But it still bothers me, I'm not gonna lie. What I'll probably do is replace it with a heavier spring. Maybe we can do that right now. Let me take out the desk mat real quick, and let's replace it with a heavier spring. Just see if there is any chance I can open the switch from the top, which I doubt. No, I can't. All right, so let me open this. Hold on. Yeah, maybe I should have done the Band-Aid mod, but I think a heavier spring will fix this. I did that a lot before. Hopefully it fixes it. I wish I had heavy springs like that. I think I'm gonna do like 85. I think 85 is what I've been using for Spacebars. Let me desolder this first. Or try to. Oh, how nice is that? Dude, where does one find that specific heat shrink? What heat shrink? Have you ever tried Rama's heat shrink? Oh, yes. I have never tried it, but now I know what you're talking about at least. And I have bought a pack of heat shrinks from Amazon, and there are smaller ones like that. So I do have that, but I never tried it. But maybe someday we should try it on our stream. I think we're good. Let's see. Nope, we are not. Sometimes I found that if you move the switch leg back and forth, you break that last piece of solder that is holding the switch. And most of the times it works. So basically I'm going to use an 85 gold plated from Sprit. That seems... Hello, Sleep Repeat, how are you? I just desoldered my spacebar to make it more silent. I'm gonna put a heavier spring on it. Let's see how this sounds. Yeah, it's 10 times better. Perfect. I think we can solder this, no problem. But again, I want to make sure this is flush. See how it looks this way, maybe better for you guys to see. Ah, bummer. Oh, look, that's the reverse angle now. So it looks like that southpaw keyboard is not the only one who can do that. We can also do reverse angle. You see? That's not exclusivity of that keyboard. Hey, how are you? Amigalios, welcome back. So I just went big brains and I reassembled this wrong. And the best part is that your USB-C port, who needs to plug that, right? All right, so now we can do another typing test. Let's do that real quick. Hopefully it's gonna sound better from what we already saw. So let's see. We lower the music. Put this here. All right, so here we go. If you guys were there, yeah, now this is a ton better. So there we have it, guys. This all red Lumina. So I'm really pleased with how this turned out. So yeah, much better. No doubt about it. So how do you guys like this little build? Not too shabby. We didn't do the egg keycap this time around because we kind of already had that on a previous build. So this is my first Jamón build, and the reason I didn't do the egg is because we didn't want to have we basically didn't want our cholesterol to be that high. So for your wait, how many Jamons did you get? 2. I bought a second one just for this build. I have 2 Jamons. That's how much I like it. So we have this one and this one, and they're both HHKB. All right, guys, that was it for tonight. Thank you guys for sticking around. And see you guys later this week with some unboxings, and next week with the next build, which I think is going to be the Orion V3. I'm really leaning towards that next, now that I received my plate. I just need to lube a lot of switches for that, but I'll get to that. All right, you guys have a good night. Take care. Oh, so on the Orion, I still don't know, but maybe some retooled blacks, I still don't know. Maybe I'm gonna film and change some switches. I don't know. To be honest, I still didn't decide that. I need to figure out what I have and what not also. But it's gonna be linears, you know me, right? All right, guys. You all have a good night, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Absolutely. My pleasure, guys. Bye.